Hello friends, welcome to part 2 of Edupedia World's video on grouping of images in our series of logical reasoning videos. So in part 1 we saw the concepts of grouping of images, what these kind of questions require as far as the logic is concerned, and we solved 5 examples with different lines of thought. Now in this part again we will take a look at different types of questions and how to group these images logically. So in the example on your screen right now, again we have a grid of 9 figures, and in the answer choices we have options which have divided these figures into groups of 3. So we have to look for some common patterns between these figures. So upon observation, I realized that figures 4, 6 and 8 are similar because they have 2 shapes next to each other. In figure 4 I have a triangle and a circle next to each other. In figure 6 I have a star and a triangle next to each other, and in figure 8 I have a triangle and a square next to each other. So one group will be 4, 6 and 8. Now using this, remember in the exam it is best to use elimination along with group formation. So I can eliminate option A because it doesn't have this particular option. This 4, 6, 8 is not there in option A, and neither is it there in option B. So I can eliminate options A and B, and now I am left with options C and D. One of these is going to be the correct answer choice. Then I see that figures 3, 5 and 9 are one group because in this you have 2 shapes, one inside the other. In figure number 3 we have a circle inside a square. In figure number 5 we have a star inside a square, and in figure number 9 we have a circle inside a star. So using this I can eliminate option C, and my correct answer will be option D. Now we have seen the logic behind 4, 6, 8 and 3, 5, 9. What's the logic behind 1, 2 and 7? So the reason is that 1, 2 and 7 are standalone figures. Okay, in 1 you have a star all by itself, in 2 you have a triangle, and in 7 you have a square. Okay, and they are not present along with other figures. So D is going to be the correct answer choice. In the next example, again I have a 3 by 3 grid of 9 figures, and now I have to use some logic whereby I have to group these into groups of 3 each. Upon observation I see that 6 and 9 are triangles, 2 and 4 are squares. I am talking about the outside figures. 5 and 7 are semicircles, and yeah, basically there is no other commonality. 1 and 3 are circles. Okay, but I realize that I am not able to get groups of 3 using this logic. So what other logic can I employ over here? So we'll look for common figures. Okay, we'll look for common figures. So first of all, if I look at figures 2, 5 and 7, okay, I see some common logic over there. In figure 2 I have a semicircle inside a square, and the opposite is true for figure 7. Okay, where I have a circle, where I have a square inside a semicircle, and figure number 5 is a standalone semicircle. So they all have common shapes, 2, 5 and 7, that's square and semicircle. So I'll put 2, 5 and 7 in one group. Similarly, if I see figures 4, 8 and 9, they also follow the same logic. So in figure 4 we have a triangle inside a square, in figure 9 we have a square inside a triangle, and figure 8 is a standalone triangle. So I have these common figures, that is a triangle and a square. And similarly, if I look at figures 6, 3 and 1 or 1, 3, 6, In figure 1 I have a standalone circle, In figure 3 I have a triangle inside a circle, and in figure 6 I have a circle inside a triangle. So again I have common figures over here. That is, I have a circle and I have a triangle. So logically my answer should be 1, 3, 6 as one group, 2, 5, 7 as another group, and 4, 8, 9 as the third group. And that is going to be my answer. So I'll select option C and mark it as the correct answer choice. In example 8, one group is very simple over here. I can put figures 3, 7 and 9 together because they are shaded inside. Okay, they are shaded inside. So 3, 7 and 9. For the other figures, I have to figure out something that they have in common. Okay, so if I take figures 1, 6 and 8, I see that all three of them have a curved line. Okay, there's a curved line. So they will be one group. So 3, 7 and 8 is one group. 3, 7 and 9 is one group. 1, 6 and 8 is one group. And 2, 4 and 5 is the third group, because they all have straight lines. Okay, there is no curved line. There is no shaded area. They are all straight lines. Okay, 2 is a trapezium. 5 is a triangle with a horizontal line in between, and 4 has 3 parallel lines. So my answer will be 1, 6, 8 as one group, 3, 7, 9 as the second group, and 2, 4, 5 as the third group. And I'll go ahead and select option C as the correct answer choice. Let's take a look at a couple of examples before we wind up. So I hope by this time you are clear with grouping these images, and now you are understanding the logical patterns behind these groupings. And it's not necessary that you'll always get a 3 by 3 grid with 9 diagrams. You can get any number of diagrams and you have to group them according to some logical similarities. Now our next example is number 9. In this one, again we have 9 figures and we have to figure out some similarity between all of them. So if we observe this, we see that 1, 7 and 8 are standalone figures. Okay, so they don't have anything inside, or they are not inscribed under any other diagram. Figures 2, 4 and 9 have intersecting lines inside. Okay, so 2, 4 and 9 can be put together. 1, 7 and 8 can be put together. And 3, 5 and 6 can also be put together because they have only one line inside. Okay, in 3, 5 and 6 there is one line inside the figure. Okay, we don't have intersecting lines over there. So my answer will be option B. 1, 7, 8 as one group, 3, 5, 6 as the second group, and 2, 4, 9 as the third group. Okay, now let's move on and take a look at the final question. Now in this example, again I have a 9 by 9 grid and I have to use some logic to put these images together. So upon observing, I see that one group is very simple, that is figures 1, 4 and 8, because they have two figures side by side. Okay, they are identical figures. So in figure 1 you have two squares next to each other which are very similar to each other, just that the square on the right is smaller than the square on the left. In figure 4 you have two triangles next to each other where they are both very similar, but the triangle on the right is smaller than the triangle on the left. And in figure 8 you have two circles next to each other with intersecting lines inside, and the circle on the right is much smaller than the circle on the left. So 1, 4 and 8 is going to be one group, using which I can eliminate options A and B. Then in figure 2 you have three figures, one inside the other. So you have a triangle inside a bigger triangle, and inside the inner triangle there is a circle. In figure 6 you have a square inside which is covered by a circle and which is in turn covered by a bigger circle. And in figure 5 you have square outside and a triangle inside that, and then another square inside the triangle. So we have three figures, one inside the other. So 2, 5 and 6 will be the second group, thereby eliminating option D, and my answer will be option C. 3, 7 and 9 will be one group, because in figure 3 we have only two figures, that's a square inside a rhombus. In figure 7 also we have just two figures, that's one triangle inside another triangle, and in figure 9 again we have just two figures, a triangle inside a rectangle. So that will be my answer, friends. Correct answer is option C. And now you will be able to answer grouping of images questions without much difficulty. So please practice these kind of questions, and I will see you soon with another video series. Thanks for watching.